Let me see if YouTube's up. Nope, still not. Wow. Oh, okay. Now it's on. Hey, YouTube. This is Lena, and you're watching Lena's Life. I had a little problem getting you guys on right now, but I was just going to say that, my morning ritual always begins with estradiol. Yeah, it's done with the estradiol these days. Oops, I don't know if you could see. Yeah, there's a lot of estradiol pills. I take 4 of them, 2 milligrams each, and it's just part of the new regimen that days, and they are, a total of 8 milligrams of estradiol that I take every day. So I don't swallow them. I take them sublingually. But before I do that, I take my doctor to take a vitamin D supplement. Wait, this isn't vitamin D. Oh yeah, it is. It's vitamin D. So, see, vitamin D. Vitamin D. And it's a little tablet, not very big. See? Kind of tiny. And I have my water. But that's, I guess, since Minnesota's at the 45th parallel or something, whatever that means, with regards to latitude, longitude. I'm not sure how that works these days. But we're so far north that we don't get enough sun. So even people that do get outside, like I did yesterday, get enough sun. This is what I was given for Spiro. Is that not the hugest, most massive bottle you've ever seen? Huge, huge. I hadn't been taking these since January of 2015 after my accident. I stopped taking them because I read stuff. But it's on now, read stuff anymore. I just live, And so I will put the little estradiols. They're green-ish, minty, something. Can't really, but I will put the estradiol and I'll let the estradiol just kind of dissolve, and then it supposedly goes down like into a pocket in the body where it gets absorbed or something. I'm not quite sure how that works. But if you were to swallow it, it goes down into then processed by your liver, which takes about, I'm not sure how much other percentage of it that it takes that isn't absorbed and gets kind of stuck. I'm kind of talking funny because I've got estradiol in my mouth. So basically it doesn't process as well. So the 8 milligrams turns into 2 or something, so then by the time its efficacy rate then is cut down. But I did hormone replacement therapy, which is something that I deal with every day. But what I did come to talk about was I just had my big heaping bowl of oatmeal cooked in the air fryer with all my goodies and stuff like that. But I didn't really come on here to talk about that either. What I came in here to talk about was laser hair removal and the battle that it has been for Puerto Rican American who did have um, a sizable amount of facial hair initially as I was transitioning prior. It kind of all started back in, I guess my first treatment first started back in 2012. I wasn't even transitioned yet. I was still living at home, and I secretly bought a subscription or a package of laser at a local place in Hendersonville where I was living. And I had not, tell anybody, I, you can get these deals on Groupon, where you get 5 treatments for $150, or something like that. And then they charge you more later. But I got my first treatment in Hendersonville, and my then wife didn't even know about it. She had no idea. Thought that it was something on Groupon. And then I told her, and then she's like, well, you've never liked laser anyway. I mean, not laser. You've never liked having hair on your face anyway. So I'm not surprised that you would do it. And, I was like, that's not the only reason that I did it. It's because I am, transitioning. But I didn't want to, we had already talked about it back in 2011. So it was not like a shock to her what was going on with me. She lived it every day. She lived it with the clothes in the closet. She lived it with, the constant, conversation and, things going on where I was very uncomfortable, and I just didn't feel like I could continue to live that way, What way was that? A male presenting person. I mean, it was hard. It was very hard. So I am not wearing any makeup right now. Okay. Nothing, not even a stitch. So if you just look at my face, I have, I've got like a lot to be grateful for, because with regards to hair removal, it is a difficult thing, especially when you're born Latin, or Italian. And you have, I used to have facial hair here, then here, a little sparse right in here, then here. Oh, and all this, yeah, that was there. And then I had hair going down from here all the way down to like here. It was a lot. I didn't really have a lot of hair on my body necessarily. I used to have, like, my friends would say that I had like a blue beard or something like that. So when I did the laser treatment, one of the things that a lady told me that was very hurtful, she was like at the front desk at this place in Hendersonville, that, by the way, kind of closed before I could finish up my 4th and 5th treatment. I got 3 treatments, and then they kind of left town, closed shop or something. That's why you got to watch out when you do get laser. Get it from a place that is has a reputation and has been in the business for a while, because I learned my lesson anyway. Got my laser done in, guy mode because I wasn't transitioned yet. And they asked me why I wanted to get it done. And I said, it's because I just don't like it. It's unsightly to me. It annoys me. It shaving every day, having a 5 o'clock shadow was like, ugh. So I didn't really tell them, I got to turn on the fan. It's a little cool. I'm a little warm. I didn't tell them that I was trans at all. I didn't mention the fact that I was trans because if I did, I don't know if the treatment would have been as good. You know, honestly, I don't know. So, this woman at the front desk, she's like, I just want you to know that no matter what you do, you're male. So there's no way you're going to get all that hair that you're looking to remove from your face. Why do you want to remove it anyway? I think it makes a man look so handsome. Well, ma'am, I am transgender. No, I didn't say anything. I was just like, well, it's just personal, you know. And she kept on saying, she's like, well, I just want you to know that it's not going to be completely done and you're never going to be completely hair free. And it's like, ugh, you know, having to hear that, you know, it's like, you are a male. It's like, da-dum. You know, for a trans person, for a trans woman, it's like a death blow to you because no, I'm not. I'm a female. I'm a woman stuck in a male body. That's what I am. And I'm just trying to make my outside feel exactly like my inside, you know. So it was very discouraging. She was very hurtful, although she didn't mean to be. She didn't mean to be. But she was, because that's what happens with us. We're very sensitive, especially with regards to our gender. It's very, very sensitive information for us. So I just like, you know, I just chalked it up as a challenge. And I said, oh, yeah, really? Okay, if you say so. So I kind of like just stuck that in the back of my brain and used it as motivation, you know, just use it as a way to just, you know, encourage myself to find the best treatment I could to rid myself of the problems that I was experiencing, right? So I ended up, you know, not um, not going there because they ended up like closing doors. You know, it's like I show up at their offices in Henderson. And I'm like, where are they? You like look through the window and there's nothing there. It's like an empty suite. There's nobody there anymore. So I was just like totally bummed, you know. And I didn't get treatment again till I actually, and that was back in 2014. Well, I transitioned officially on November 12th, 2013. And I like to remember it by saying 11, 12, 13. That was when I transitioned. And I officially say that because I started HRT that day, and that's when I feel like that's when my transition began in earnest. You know, it was at that time. So I've been on this journey for a while now with laser hair removal. It's a battle. It's like getting boobs and stuff. It's just one of those things that has not been easy for me, you know, with regards. Um, you know, it's just been a challenge. So on with my laser hair removal story. It was February of 20, and I had already I had a trans woman that came to live with me in Tennessee, and helped to split the cost of the rent and everything. So it was really a blessing to have Jenny there at that time. Um, And I went down, got her in Fort Lauderdale. She needed help. I needed help. We helped each other. We eventually got a little romantically involved, but it was never really anything that I wanted. So I guess it just didn't work out. You know, she's doing really well now. She's living and got married to a trans woman down in Palm Springs, Florida. They have a successful business. She's a painter and an artist, really. She sells portraits and watercolors and all, I don't know all the words for it, but super talented person. Unfortunately, I don't speak anymore. But at the time, we both went to Nashville, and I got this package that I got through their credit line to be able to get, like lifetime's worth of laser, treatment and blah, blah, blah. And, I was sold a package. I bought it. It was like, I want to say 3,000, something ridiculous, right? But the encouraging thing for me was that it was all around the country. It would move, it would be there for me, right? So I did it, and I went under a monthly plan and started having my hair being lasered, and it was working. It was successful. I started in January, went for treatments in February, in March, in April, in May, and then finally in June. And then I ended up moving to Minnesota, where they didn't have a laser place there. But they did have one coming soon to the Woodbury area. So I was all excited because I knew that I could continue my treatment there. Well, in between times, I hadn't gone to anywhere. I hadn't gone anywhere until, what was it? October? No, September. I actually drove down with my then boyfriend, Tony, and we drove to the closest affiliated laser hair removal place. And it happened to be in Missouri. Yeah. We drove for one treatment because I was desperate, right? I already paid for the stuff. I'm paying monthly, and there's no treatment going on. And you need ongoing treatment because hair grows in cycles. So if you get hair at the anagen stage, there's the other stage, and you have to kind of get it at every stage, every 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks or something. So I ended up traveling down there with Tony, very happy with the service. It was a very positive experience, except for the fact that it was so damn far, just too far, right? So, but they said, don't worry about it. Our place in Woodbury is opening up soon. So this is just the only time you'll have to do it. And I'm like, okay. Well, at least I've got, my treatment done for this month. And then October came around and I wanted to get more treatment, but I didn't want to go all the way down there, right? So, and the other place was in Milwaukee, so I didn't out that far either. So I was talking to my friend Rebecca, who I made acquaintance with online, and she was a trans woman, and she was using a service in Minnetonka, Minnesota, which was called Finale Hair Removal. Now, Finale is owned by Barb. I forget her last name. For a very super long time. They've been doing facials, and she even does electrolysis. She does derm skin grafting stuff, and she works closely with the the plastic surgeons around the area and everything like that, and is very trans friendly. So that was really cool that a technician can actually heighten a person's ability to grow more hair by how they treat the patient. It's like if you get someone that's not trans friendly, put the machine on a setting that makes it, harder to remove hair in the future, it's really, I think it's, it's very important to find a place that's very trans friendly, because if you don't, you may end up with problems, But Barb is very trans friendly, and from the very beginning, like every 2 weeks, I think it was, because she wanted to get me on this regimen program, and she used a light shear laser. There's different lasers. There's called like a YAG laser, and since my skin is so dark, it doesn't take every kind of laser. Like an IPL laser is not one that I can use. I mean, I bought a laser. I'll show it to you right now. It's not in this cabinet. It's not in this cabinet. It's here. Yes, this is it. It is a IPL laser, and I'll get the instructions here. You can find them eventually. Okay, well, this is called the Philips Lumea Comfort. You can see it. The Flea Lumea Comfort laser, and it plugs in, uses power, and then it's got like the actual self, right? And then you can adjust the settings on it. Oops, it's upside down. You can adjust the settings on it 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 5, right? And it's for these different kind of skin types. Recommended light intensities, hair color. So you can use it for, depending on your skin type, right? And like I said, my skin is, I'm Puerto Rican, and I'm a dark-skinned Puerto Rican, so that's something that I have to deal with. So an IPL laser doesn't really work super good for me, although I found some benefit. For the most part, it didn't really do what the laser did. Like when Barb did my laser, more results from it, So what it did do, though, is I did get marked by it, because like if a laser doesn't see the light that it needs to see, or the hair, and it gets tricked. I'm trying to find where I have that markings. I think they've gone away, but there are like little streaks of white and stuff. I had kind of burned myself because I had tried to trick the laser, and I wouldn't recommend it. But you can trick the laser by getting a darker area like this that's got a sensor on it that detects your skin type. I could trick it by putting it down by a breast or something, which isn't as dark, or by my stomach, which isn't as dark. And then I could do this and push a button and zap myself. And then I'd have to start over again, catch on that, whatever. But it feels like a little stinging thing, it's not terrible, it's not the worst thing. But Barb was really super nice to me, and she always had a good plan, and it was working. So that's the person that I'm going to see today. She's excellent at what she does. But what happened after that was really sad, because I ended up not going to Barb that next month. Well, I went out to Barb October and November, and then times, and then in December, this when the clinic or whatever at Woodbury, in a suburb outside of, inside of Minneapolis, St. Paul area, that's when they started business. I called them up and they said, sure, we'll treat you. I mean, you're part of the family. Welcome. Well, they did treat me. And then they sold me another package, and it was like full body one. So I was like paying, I had signed up for this whole system, right? So the problem is that they did my arms, they did my legs, and they did a Brazilian, and they did my face. So what happened though was I started getting welty marks on my arms and my legs. And after the accident happened, I was like a zebra. Yeah. My legs were striped with the welts, right? They turned white-ish. So I looked like a candy striped zebra, And my arms also, it took a while. I think it was the Florida sun that helped me to kind of lose some of that, but it was really bad. And I was really frustrated. So 2015, I called to complain and stuff. And they're like, oh, it's not our fault. It's just that, you need to go to Ulta and buy this cream and it'll dissolve it or something. And I'm like, do you realize you guys burned me? Do you guys realize that? And, I had so many things. I was like, I don't even know if I want to deal with this kind of stuff, because it's like, ugh, the accident and family and all that stuff, bankruptcy. So I was just like totally frustrated, right? And I didn't get any laser done, because it doesn't just go away. I mean, it minimizes it more. But, like if I don't shave every day, or if I don't pull hair, which I use, like I was saying before, I use this Bell-LB, the Bay, and I've talked about it before, but, you just kind of rotate it and then it picks out some of those fine hairs. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't scar you up or make your skin really like hypersensitive, So I would get like these skin issues, and when I would shave and stuff, and it was really frustrating because it makes you feel so dysphoric. I mean, what woman wants to have a bumpy face, right? I mean, or to have blisters and junk on your face. I mean, you don't. You want to have porcelain skin, I mean, that's the goal anyway. So I found that works really nice. But I don't know what happened. I think, I never did go. I never went live on Facebook. Oh, well. I'm live now, and I've been talking about my face and how I've been on this journey for laser hair removal since 2012. And if you guys want to see any other video that I have up on YouTube, it goes into more detail explaining exactly what I've been talking about. But I'll continue. So anyway, I was like totally frustrated and unable to do anything about it. And I wanted to do something, but this wasn't possible. I was living in a little dinky town. They barely had a McDonald's there, let alone, the Burger King eventually closed down, KFC closed down, the Taco Bell closed down when Mark and I came back in 2017 after living in Silver City and then moving to Florida and coming back. There just wasn't. So I wasn't able to. I was really, really kind of frustrated about it. It was very disappointing, and it causes a lot of dysphoria. So I tried to work, just, you know, kind of move on from it or something, but it was always in the back of my mind. It was always something that I was dealing with. And eventually, I was able to get the issue addressed because when I moved to Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, in Orlando, there's a place that I could get to and stuff like that. But long story short, the was doing the laser removal got sold out or sold to or went bankrupt or something. And the people that bought it then contacted me and they wanted to honor the contract that I had with them. So I went for surgery. Yeah. I went for a treatment in May of 2016. Yeah, 2016. And I was super happy because it'd been over a year since I had it at all. So they had me, for 45 minutes, and then they told me, come back, that I had like 2 or 3 more free treatments. They're not free though. I paid for them, right, in that contract. But Mark and I figured out that the cost of driving from Fort Lauderdale up to Orlando was like, by the time you pay for gas, by the time you pay for a place to stay, because if you're staying there overnight, or eat, it was costing like $60. And it's like, I could just get a laser here in Fort Lauderdale at the time, right? So eventually I found a place in Fort Lauderdale to do it. And they did, it wasn't that great of a job. I don't think the woman even knew what she was doing. But again, I got that little Groupon, or what's that? Another company that does those kind of services and sells that kind of thing. So I've just been on this journey, people. It's been like constant, and I haven't had any laser since 2017, March, February, something like that. Haven't had any laser. And Mark thought it was a good idea. When we did get back to, I could do his back, which he didn't like back hairs on him and stuff like that. And I could continue my laser treatment with a home system that supposedly works. It does work. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It does. It's just that my skin is dark, and it can't read the hair. It kind of, the dark skin kind of tricks it. So that's why I'm super excited today. I get to go to visit Barb over at Finale Hair Removal in Minnetonka, and I get to talk to her about what steps and the treatments and stuff like that are best for me, So I'm really excited because out of all the places I've been to, and I've probably had my face lasered 15, 20 times, probably. She's the best. She's the best. She uses this laser that it's like a rubber band snapping and then pulling a hair out of your skin. I know it's painful. It sounds painful, but you get used to it after a while. I mean, I pluck hairs with, what do they call it? What do they call them? Those things that you pluck hairs with. What is it? It's driving me bonkers. It's like, what is it? Nobody's commenting, so I can't really. A tweezer. Yes, a tweezer. Nothing spectacular, just a tweezer. And I have had my share of days in front of a magnifying mirror doing all this stuff, you know, just like pulling them out one by one, bit by bit, piece by piece, one chunk of dysphoria at a time, right? So this tweezer and I have been best friends for, I guess, 3 years or 4 years now. And some of them don't really work that well. Some do. And this is a good one. But if you use it too much, then you end up having a like pothole skin, you know, because it infects your skin if you're not careful, right? So I wouldn't recommend a tweezer, you know. And they say that it actually cancels out some of the treatment. And like, you know, if you're having laser done and you basically they're wanting you to have your hair grow out, you know, so that they can get it and stuff, especially electrolysis. It's a different beast because electrolysis is permanent. It's like once they find that hair and they remove it, boom, it's gone, never to show up again, you know. So with laser, it's different because it goes in stages, right? So if you pull the stage, you know, that's in a certain stage, then it can't complete its cycle. So then it renews itself and starts over again, like a vicious, you know, like a vicious cycle, right? So basically, I'm going to see what she wants to do. I really don't want to have hair. And mostly what I do is like the trouble areas are like right here, which isn't nearly as bad as it used to be. Up here, my upper lip, I get these little black ones that grow. A little sparseness right in here, a little bit like right in there and over here. And then, you know, just little flecks of little black ones. But white hair, you know, it can't. And I wish that there was technology out there these days that could, but it can't. It can't touch a white hair. So I've had right in here, there's always like a little farm of white hairs. You know, I can feel it right now. It's like a little bumpy. And then if I go over here, it's smooth. Bumpy, smooth. White hairs that pop up in here, up in here. So we're going to address that. We're going to get rid of that hair once and for all. And, you know, then we can address some of that other hair, you know, that grows, some chest hair. Ever since now that I've been on Spiro and estrogen, it's really kind of cut down, but I was never really hairy in the first place. So, but, you know, there's some black hairs. Like I can see some black hairs right here, right now. You know, I could see them. And, you know, I mean, people, you could bleach them, but, you know, I just want to get rid of them. I don't like it. I don't like it. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what, you know, at what stage I want to get into electrolysis and stuff. So it's a free consultation. And the thing is, she's 23 miles away. And I don't have a car. So you get creative. You get creative on what you can and can't do. And so my initial thought was to ask Paul, but then it's so far, you know, it's like it takes gas and stuff. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bike down to the metro station in downtown St. Paul, and then I'm going to put my bike on it and ride the train all the way to downtown Minneapolis, where Target Field is and the Twins play. That's the last stop of the metro. And then I'm going to get off. And then I could take a bus, but I don't think I want to do that. But I could just get on a bike trail and go 10 miles. It'll be like an hour ride. And I'll just ride out there and then do the same thing coming back. You know, where there's a will, there is a way. You know, it's like you do what you have to do in order to make things happen. And I don't like being a burden on people, and I know I've talked about it with Paula already. She's like, girl, you need to just ask me if you need help. And it's like, yeah, but this isn't just a trip to Aldi. This is this is like going into like the mouth of rush hour, or maybe if there's traffic or someone's like, nah. So I think I'm just gonna basically just, just deal with it. And if the weather holds up, which it looks like the rain's not going to happen at 7-ish or something, I can thread the needle and get back. So it's like a buck. Yeah, it's a buck to get on the train to go to downtown, and then a buck back. So, we'll see what happens with that regard. And I have an appointment at 3:30, so it's 12:40 now. So going here, but I just wanted to let you guys know about my journey, about this trip that I've been on with my hair and my face, and laser, and I would do, if you're lighter skinned, I would definitely recommend this. This little device. It's the Philips model number Comfort IPL laser, and it saves people money if they have light skin, but for me it didn't work out that well. But it still did something. It was something. If anything, it was emotional support. And it comes to this. I haven't tried an epilator yet, but this little device is the bomb. If you're a genetic woman and you're having problems with, those little pesky white hairs that just grow around your face and stuff like that, or like sometimes I get them up on my eyeball, like along my cheekbones and stuff. I just like roll that baby up there, and it just pulls. It's not really mean to your body, so it doesn't really destroy anything. It's just when you get into this area, like here, where you may have like a hair, like, and then you can feel it, like just kind of lifting. You go, ouch, but it's better than having it, right? So we do what we have to do, and I'm not afraid of pain. I mean, gosh, Amanda, my friend here from Tasmania, trans woman, she had gender confirmation surgery. That's nothing compared to this little thing, right? So you got to kind of count, compare situations and stuff, and see if it's worth it for you. And if it's not, then don't do it. But if you want to spend $20 on something like this little thing, or go to Target and find one, or make one out of a Slinky. Of course, the Slinky is probably a little bigger, so it'd be kind of big for your face. This is like a little Slinky, right? A Slinky, a wonderful, wonderful toy. A Slinky, fun for girls and boys. Yeah, remember that. Remember, it would like take the stairs. And I remember as a kid growing up, we lived in a one-bedroom house. I'm at one-story house. And I was always jealous about those commercials with the kids that, they go upstairs and then they'd play with their Slinky and it'd come down, and it was like human or like an animal or something. And I eventually got my wish. I was able to move into a 2-story house when I was like 8 years old. And I bought a Slinky, albeit plastic one. Plastic ones aren't as good, right? Well, I tried that stair thing. It didn't work. It was like false advertising, because it ended up like going, yeah, and then it just kind of fell down, and then got stuck on the 3rd step. I was like, what is this? Is this the Slinky that I saw in the commercial, or is this some knock? I can ramble on forever and talk my ear off or your ear off, right? But you don't want that. You don't want me talking my ear off. So I'll get you guys a little more information when I'm there or on my way there, and you guys can just follow me along today, and I'll just do a little short, probably only on Facebook, because I can't do both. I don't think my battery would die after, after a certain amount of doing how many videos. So I will see you guys later, and I love you guys, and thanks for watching, and thank you for supporting me and just being there. I appreciate all of you, and have a great afternoon. I'm gonna go get my bike pumped up, get my makeup on, get ready, probably put on some overalls or something, and haul myself down. It's like a mile and a half to the train station, downhill from here, so it's all easy riding. And then I'll just hop on the train. Maybe 45 stops later, stop in downtown Minneapolis, get the bike out, find the trail, go to the appointment. Anyway, and then do it all over again. Or maybe I'll just ride all the way back home the 23 miles. I don't know if I'm crazy. Anyway, you guys have a great day. See you. And the same goes for all of you people at YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you just go to facebook.com/Lynnac, LYNNAC 17. That's Lynnac 17 or Lynnac 17. That's my channel on YouTube. I mean on Facebook, my Facebook wall. And I only make them friends only posts. So if you're my friend, you'll be able to see it. And if you're not, you can friend me and tell me that you want to see what I'm doing and stuff, and I'll friend you, and you can see what I'm doing. Anyway, see you guys later. Love you guys.